Dealing with unsupportive family and friends, let's talk about it. I think it is natural for us to want our family and friends to be supportive of our aspec identities from the jump. We trust these people. We trust these people with our lives. We have trusted them for a very long time. And it can feel like a really deep betrayal when these people who we've invested so much trust in take some part of us that we reveal to them and reject it. That hurts. It's painful. It's awful. And this can sometimes end up in an endless cycle of us trying and pushing and extending ourselves and using our spoons to try to get them to understand, and only being met with that rejection. Then that rejection starting that process of giving all over again. We can feel as though we would do absolutely anything to get them to accept us and understand us. But there's a really important truth that we need to recognize here. We can never make someone accept us. So we often operate from a place of thinking that this acceptance should be unconditional, right? But there are really a lot of reasons why people who we trust, who have accepted us in other situations, will take our asexuality or our aromanticism and reject it. Maybe they are afraid of what those words and those identities mean because they have never encountered them before, and they're operating from a place of ignorance. Maybe there are religious or cultural values and beliefs that are getting in the way of them embracing queerness. And maybe just this process of acceptance is simply uncomfortable, and they're not in a place where they're willing to sit in that discomfort and do that kind of work to change their worldview, change the way they understand you, and change the way they understand the world. The important thing, though, to remember there is all of that has nothing to do with you. That is their baggage. That's their stuff. That's not you. That's not your stuff. And because it's not your stuff, you have to internalize the fact that it's not your responsibility to change or do that work for them. So what you can do, however, is model the kind of behavior, the kind of love, and the kind of acceptance you want to see in the world. And how do you do that? You do that by loving and accepting yourself. You do that by loving and accepting yourself. Treat your aspec identity as something beautiful, as something you love, something you accept. Treat it as something you're proud of. Demonstrate that it is not something to be ashamed of, that it is not something to hide, that it is not something that hurts you or diminishes you or makes you broken. Treat it as though it is something that uplifts you, that amplifies you, that helps you to shine. Be unapologetic in your love of your own aspec identity. Walk that walk, even when they are unwilling to walk that with you. I think it's also important to say, you have to set really good boundaries here too. I'm not saying that in this process we have to endure all forms of aphobia. I'm not saying that we have to endure the pain that people inflict on us when they're unwilling to love and accept us. We can absolutely set our boundaries around that. We can say, I'm not going to talk about this with you. If you continue to treat me this way, or you continue to say these things about my ace or arrow identity that I don't appreciate or that I feel is diminishing, I'm going to leave this situation. I'm not going to participate in it. I'm going to put distance between myself and you. You can set boundaries like that with the people in your lives when they are causing you harm. And still, that is also an act of love. That's demonstrating how much you love who you are. Remember, loving yourself also means standing up for yourself when that is something you are capable of doing. Maybe over time, this gulf between you and the people who aren't accepting you will change. But, sometimes maybe it won't. And we have to always hold space for the way relationships with people that we love may change. So maybe over time, the relationship with your family or the relationship with your friends who don't accept you will change. And that's okay. You still have to prioritize your own self-worth. You have to prioritize your well-being as an individual. And you have to prioritize the life you want to lead, because at the end of the day, this is your one shot at living your life fully and authentically. And you deserve all the space and all the opportunities to be whoever you want to be in the world. Don't let these relationships with people who are negating you or who are not accepting you prevent you from moving forward toward the person that you want to be. If you would like and feel comfortable, share some support stories down in the comments. Share some ways that you have dealt with family members or friends who haven't helped you. Ask questions. Let's support other people in the comments and create a space where we can all live our best ace lives. And, as always, friends, I'm really glad you're here.